So here we have Ben James's ride for 2024, the Beta Evo 80cc senior model. The Ben's only 9 years old and he's not the biggest, so we've made a super lightweight, compact bike with plenty of punch and power to suit Ben's riding style. So let's take a look. One of the big changes you'll see first of all is the front end. We've got the tech forks rather than the standard steel Paolis. This is bringing the weight right down by a couple of kilograms. To get this to work, we've had to use the S3 factory triple clamps, which will allow you to take the 39mm tech forks. We're using alloy tech forks, which is the lighter version than the steel, obviously. Ben is also using the Öhlins rear shock. With Öhlins, we're able to get a real custom built shock made for any of our customers. We just need your rider weight, obviously the bike that you're riding, and also if you let us know the style of sections that you usually ride and also your riding style in general, we can help build you a shock that's made for you to suit your style of riding. Ben's been using the Öhlins now for a number of years and it's a massive improvement over the standard shock that comes on the bike, and like we say, we can really custom build it to your style of riding and your needs. We've got the Renthal fat bars in a 4.5-inch rise, and Ben's keeping the original Gramica master cylinders. We actually feel these are nice and powerful. As we all know, the youths aren't always strong enough to hold on to the bike, so you can have a few big crashes, and the Gramica master cylinders are actually really nice and strong. The Ben has quite small hands, so he's using the Apico flexi levers, and not only did these ones flick back, but they've also got a lot of adjustment for you to be able to adjust the reach and biting point, and with that we're able to get the lever a lot closer to the handlebar for Ben to be able to reach it, so he can still have his usual biting point without having to stretch too far to grab it. Ben uses the Renthal soft compound grips, and he also glues and wires these on just so there's no worry about them slipping at all when he's riding. We're using a Jitsi lanyard kill switch. You'll also notice that the wheels are different in this bike. We're using the Jitsi lightweight wheels, so they're the black rims with the red anodized hubs, and I think it goes well with this particular bike. They're nice and light, but the main thing is they're very strong. Ben is riding the bike quite hard. He's riding rocks and such all the time. You might find that the original wheels that come on these bikes have got slightly softer rims that do tend to buckle and bend a bit easier than these ones will. And a nice touch on the rear wheel is the cutouts around the flange, just to save that extra bit of weight. Ben is using a fast action throttle. We're also using a Jitsi throttle wheel to keep it smooth and as light as possible. With the brakes, we're using Galford discs and pads. The discs are nice and strong, and with using Galford discs with the Galford red pads, we find these brakes to be really good. Ben's not been complaining about his brake setup whatsoever. Ben's using the Jitsi titanium footrests. Now the reason we're going for these is because, again, Ben's quite small and the Jitsi ones are fairly central and not too low how they sit on the bracket, so he finds this is a good position for Ben, so he's not too stretched out on the bike. And they're also super aggressive and grippy, so there's no worry about foot slipping off when using these pegs. Weight has been a real factor when building this bike, so even down to the rear sprocket, we're using Talon because we know it's high quality, good sprockets, but we're using the open sprocket and then using a Jitsi decal to protect the sprocket holes, just to try and keep that weight down as much as possible. With the carburettor, we're using a slightly bigger main jet. We're using a 101 main, and we're also using the Boyson reeds that are made specifically for the Beta 80. We find that's also helping get a bit more poke out of the bike. Now the barrel has been ported, and we've also hired the compression on the cylinder head. We're also using the Elf HTX 740 gearbox oil in this bike. It's super lightweight and it helps prevent any clutch drag or sticking, because Ben is giving this clutch a bit of abuse with some of the big stuff he's going up these days, along with a couple of slight modifications to the exhaust system and the flywheel to try and get this bike to pick up as strong as possible on the power delivery. Now the airbox has been modified slightly to allow a greater flow of air into the airbox. He's using the trick bit fork guards. It's got a lovely shop number board in black, using the Hereford bar pad to offer great protection up front. And we're running Michelin X-Lite tyres front and rear. We're finding these to have the nice soft sidewalls, which helps with a rider of this weight. And yeah, that's a quick look around Ben James's ride for 2024. We hope you like this video. If you do, please subscribe and click that like button. Thank you very much.